You're listening to a new episode of The Brave Technologist, and this one was recorded live at the Rare Evo conference earlier this month. We had a chance to sit down with one of the most popular creators in the Web3 space, Wendy O. She's the host and founder of The O Show, an influential YouTube channel focused on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology with a global audience of over 1 million. In this episode, we discussed the importance of interoperability in crypto and her efforts to educate the community of crypto on risks and rewards, the need for financial literacy, privacy, and barriers to access like accredited investor laws, advice for women entering the crypto space, and the role of creators and the future of crypto adoption. And now for this week's episode of The Brave Technologist. Wendy, welcome to The Brave Technologist. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy that you're here. We're here at Rare Evo. What brought you to the conference, and what are you hoping to get out of it?
So I've been coming to Rare Evo for the last 3 years, and one of the things I like about it is it's a smaller, more intimate event. It's in the States, which I love because it's not super hard for me to get to. And then each year it just keeps getting better and better and better. And one of the cool things that that I like this particular year, well, obviously I come to network and hang out.
Sure.
Like, you guys are one of my channel partners.
Yeah.
We share each other's content and stuff like that, and it's absolutely amazing. But one of the things I kind of really like this year is I do like Midnight, because Midnight has actually been able to help Rare Evo expand outside of just the Cardano ecosystem and truly allow for interoperability, which, as you know, you've been in the crypto for so long. Yeah. Interoperability kind of seems like the future. Yeah, totally. I mean, and you've been in crypto for a while too, since 2017, creating content, right? What originally pulled you into the space? So I just kind of got tired of the traditional system. Yeah. It just is really, really predatory. And I feel like one of the biggest problems we have in America are not necessarily the social issues. Social issues will always be around, but when people have access to money, equal access to where if they work hard that they can, make more money, it really kind of helps with things, because people have access to better products and services and better quality of life. But crypto and Bitcoin really kind of, it seemed like a level playing field for me. Yeah. Because I went into a TD Ameritrade back in 2016 or 2017 and I wanted to invest. Like, no, you need $20,000 to open a brokerage account. I'm like, what? Like, do you know anybody that has like $20,000 just kind of chilling, in a bank account? It's especially with the economy right now. Right. It's just a barrier to entry. Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, what do you see kind of as your responsibility to the community, and when it comes to kind of educating people about crypto risks and rewards? So to me, the cool thing about crypto is you get to be your own bank. You get to move those predatory third parties. You get to fully be in control of of your life, of your money. Because again, without money, you can't really do a whole lot in the world. Right. And my whole thing is like, I like to educate people on the fundamentals of different projects, like why they're important, why they matter, why they should potentially check them out, but really also to help keep people safe. With all this power of being your own bank and owning your own money, there's a lot of risk. Is that risk is simply clicking on something that could be malicious. Like for Google, for example, some of there's been crypto scam projects that have been sponsored, so they come up at the very, very top, so people will just automatically click those. Yeah. And I try to educate people about OPSEC, which is not sexy. Brave makes it a little bit more, we're trying a little bit more entertaining. Yeah. But really, at the end of the day, like, OPSEC is hard, and one click can destroy your life. Totally. So I just try to, remind people, about profit taking, about risk management, about self-education, and, not to click stupid things. Yeah, it's awesome. You built trust with global audience. How big is your audience these days? I think we're at 1.1 million globally on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I might be missing some stuff. What do you see kind of like the role of creators and independent analysts will play in the future of crypto adoption? I think people just want to be able to, one of the things I tell my audience is to hear what I say, but to listen to themselves. And that basically means like, here the stuff I'm talking about, and then maybe go to creator X, or maybe go to creator Y, or maybe go here and take what you like and leave the rest. Yeah. But I think it's important. I think that we're like, crypto with all this mainstream adoption, I feel like we're starting to really lose the ethos of accountability. Yeah. And that simply is like, we're not supposed to trust, we're supposed to verify. Right. We're supposed to take a responsibility for our own actions. Yeah. So I think that that's a very, very, very kind of important thing that they should they should take that, and especially when they're doing their due diligence, because at the end of the day, you and I might be completely on opposite sides of an idea.
Yeah.
But if we can't sit down and have a conversation like civilized human beings, then I'm not going to learn anything, and you're not going to learn anything.
Totally.
Like, it might just end up in a big blow up fight.
Right.
Or it might be like, hey, you know what? I didn't really think about that aspect. I'm going to do a little bit more research. My opinion is still valid, and I'm still going to go with that. But I also, want to research a little bit more about that. And I think that's part of critical thinking and accountability and all that.
How has it been being a creator? Like, I mean, we're things have warmed up in regulatory space and just in like more things turning on that were off. But like, how has it been kind of navigating in this, like, in the Gensler era of like of the
I should be asking you that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I know how it was for me. Miserable, but still, I mean, right? Like, because there's a lot of creators, a lot of projects kind of got after. Was it tough to navigate that?
I mean, I don't do financial advice on my channel. Like, I'm really thankful. I've got a wonderful network of people. Like, I've got a crypto CPA, crypto attorneys, a crypto financial advisor. So I just kind of, when people ask those types of things, I kind of delegate that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of worrisome for a while because it's like, this is what I do for a living.
Totally.
I'm good at what I do for a living. Like, it allows me to be a stay-at-home mom. My whole entire schedule is built around my kid. But it was scary for a while, not knowing if I was going to get sued just because I had talked about a news article that,
right.
Mentioned a certain crypto or whatever, And that was the type of regulatory landscape that we were in, which is ridiculous because nobody should be punished for something when there's not a law in place.
Right, exactly. What do you think kind of needs to happen for the next wave of users to feel confident stepping into crypto without getting burned?
You see, that one's a hard one because we have, you have to remember, well, you know this, when you were in public school or school in general, were you taught about traditional finance? Were you taught about finance at all?
No.
So I think that's the hard part. I think that America, especially primarily America, I don't know about the other countries because I know we got a global audience here, but I think the hard part is that we are not taught this in public education, but we're somehow expected to know. So I feel like a lot of people just don't necessarily believe in themselves. And they don't think they're smart enough, or they don't think they're good enough, or they don't think that they can understand crypto as a whole and not take that step to custody their coins or really focus on privacy. And I think that they're doing a disservice to themselves because everybody's capable of it for the most part. So,
Stay educated.
Stay educated. But I think the challenge really is now we have the spot ETFs and the banks coming in and TradFi and this, all these different things, and people are just going to go that route, and that's not what Bitcoin was created for.
Right. Well, one of the super interesting things that I've been finding out as we're going along is like I had Hester Peirce on from the SEC, right?
I love her. She's
amazing.
Dude, I got the pleasure of meeting her, and she's just such a wonderful person. She's so smart, and she's so logical too. Her big thing was disclosure.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, they're public servants. To an extent, there's things that they have to abide by, and a lot of people don't understand that when you're dealing with entities that have more power than you, if you're able to get them to compromise to an extent, and just with a disclosure, that's kind of a win.
Well, one of those interesting things she mentioned too is that the regulators can't necessarily even use the crypto, like, or the tools or anything. So they're regulating something that they can't touch, but they go to podcasts and podcasters to learn a lot because they can't touch it themselves. So it's really, I thought it was kind of like super interesting that like creators in the space are actually like, the influence that they have is not just new people and onboarding, but also like even the regulators are kind of watching what we're all doing.
Yep, I've had, I was at a conference on a panel, and apparently there was feds or there was someone there and that no one told me till after, but I didn't say anything wrong. Like, I mean, like, you can't get, like, we're in America. We do have the First Amendment right. Like, I'm not breaking laws, but I can have an opinion about something.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what makes America special.
If you could sit down with a regulator for 5 minutes or a lawmaker, right? Like, what would you want them to understand about the space?
I would want them to understand that crypto is made for everyone. It actually offers equal access, and I would also respectfully demand that they remove or heavily revise the accredited investor law, because it is the most predatory thing in the world.
Why don't we go into that? What is that law all about?
So basically, if you do not, I think it's 200,000, 250,000, and for a couple 300,000. If you don't make that much, or you don't have $1 million in assets, you are not allowed to become an accredited investor. You're just a retail investor. Where you're an accredited investor, you get access to special products and services like early IPOs and hedge funds and all these different types of investing that may be a little bit more risky. But at the end of the day, people should be able to do what they want to do with their money.
Right.
And I think passing like a basic competency test, like just to show that like you're okay up here.
Right.
Because it doesn't make sense. Like where I grew up, my mom's house, there is 1, 2, 3. There's 3 buildings that you can buy alcohol, scratchers, lottery tickets, cigarettes all around.
Yeah.
And that's that's just on one street corner.
Right.
And lottery ticket, like to me, lottery tickets are the biggest scam ever.
Right.
Let's say some of those places offer payday loans. Like payday loans are extremely predatory.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that everybody should have access to getting money, but I understand the compromise. Like maybe only 10% of your annual income, or maybe do a competency test. But that's exactly what I would ask to be. Well, I've been demanding it all over the internet. I went on ABC and did it. Just said it because it's not just because you weren't born with wealth, or you weren't. Because let's face it, not everybody is cut out to have a high earning job.
Right.
Like a mechanic. Mechanics are important. Electricians, plumbers, like construction workers, like they keep things going.
Right.
But their salaries, they're not making $100,000 a year in not all cases, but in some cases. But they should be able to have. Just because they don't have access to money doesn't mean they're stupid.
Right. No, they should have access to markets. I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing, too, because, we allow people to take the risk of driving a car when they're 16 if they go through a certain test. Like, why not let them have access, with their own money to earn more money, like, or have the upside, and take the risks themselves, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense. So, there's a lot of hype in Web3. How do you separate signal from noise?
I pay attention to, I kind of have my eyes and, paying attention to everything. But at the end of the day, I try to find things that actually make sense, that retail can relate to. Because at the end of the day, it's about, crypto and Bitcoin are about providing everybody with the equal access, level playing field. And I like to talk about things that are relevant to them, and that, that are relevant to myself, and that makes sense. And really just making a better future for our kids.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What's a common barrier to entry that you hear? Because I'm sure that a lot of people that are new to crypto might tune in to learn more from your channels. Like, what's something that's consistently difficult for people that are trying to get in this space?
Self-custody is really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. To me, some easy solutions off the top of my head, like they can go to a Kraken, dollar cost average that way. And then when they're comfortable, go to self-custody, or they can use Brave and browse and earn the native token BAT, and then start to get a little bit experience with that crypto. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to be a lot. So if they screw up with their private seed phrase, it still sucks, but it's not like
they're losing their whole.
So I don't know. I Brave is great in that aspect, because I feel like you can play around and test out, not your keys, not your coins over there.
Right.
it's not stuff that you're essentially losing.
Right. Yeah, it's just a lower risk way of going about it, for sure. So you're one of the most recognizable women in crypto. What advice would you give to other women looking to make an impact in the space?
Well, 2 things. So the first thing is if you want to get out there, if you want to be a content creator, you want to work at marketing, you want to work at whatever it is you want to do, just get out there.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Somebody's going to tell you no, and you're going to fail. Well, you're going to learn a lot of life lessons along the way, and you'll be able to pivot into something that works. And also too, it is a very, very male-dominated industry, and sometimes boys could be mean, but that's just kind of how the world is. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I highly recommend that if you're struggling and working in a male-dominated industry, there's a book called Parachute Women. It's about all the women who helped basically the Rolling Stones become who they were, and it kind of just talks about how the women propped them up, but they were overshadowed by like Anita Pallenberg and Marianne Faithfull. But a lot of those stories about powerful women in history are actually kind of helpful and motivating, because it'll teach you how to navigate certain things in a different manner, open up your mind. And again, it's not a bad thing. It's not a boy versus girl, but there are some different societal norms that happen. But just put yourself out there, and you never know. You honestly never know what's going to happen. If I didn't get myself on crypto Twitter back in 2017 when it was basically 4chan.
It was a swamp. It still kind of is, but it's are there channels that you would recommend they try in any particular order, or just go for it?
I just think I do content on a lot of different socials platforms, so I think I really think it's important always to start off reading the Bitcoin white paper.
Yeah.
Like Binance has also got a really, really great, their blog area has a really great, like free articles that kind of teach you about different things, Investopedia. But just like, just spend 10 minutes a day self-educating yourself. Like, take a look at different YouTube channels or different socials and take what resonates with you and leave the rest.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Have you ever dealt with any issues kind of like as someone creating crypto content with platforms like flagging you or dealing with any censorship types of things?
There's censorship all over the internet, and it's, crypto, like X is so much better.
Yeah.
But there's a while that YouTube was deplatforming people, and then TikTok is like a freaking hot mess, Facebook, YouTube. So again, not to get too political, but this administration was kind of pivotal in that.
Yeah, totally. Finally, kind of what legacy do you hope to leave as a leader in the crypto community?
At the end of the day, I'm just a mom. So I hope that I can motivate somebody to improve their quality of life or do better, even if it's just me saying hi to them or like I don't know. I hope that at least one person that I'm able to positively impact their life. And then obviously, just keep my daughter set up and make sure that she's provided for. And another thing too, there's a nonprofit I support, Self-Care Lab, and they use boxing as a form of mental health therapy. And there's somebody they're an organization, a small nonprofit that I donate to a lot. I know where every penny, if I need their tax documents, she'll give it over like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to give back to, and that's another really cool thing I've been able to do with my platform is give back to certain entities that I feel are worthy and that I've used. And yeah, so I guess I answered. I gave lots of answers.
That's fantastic. That's why you're here. And is there anything that we didn't cover that you want our audience to know about?
No, actually, one of the things I want to say is crypto is wonderful, but you guys also have to understand too, your privacy privacy really is important. It's like the least fun thing to talk about. Nobody wants to hear about it. Nobody will watch any of those things. But really at the end of the day, and that's something Hester Peirce said. She says, don't sacrifice privacy for quick regulation.
Yeah.
And that basically means is like, your privacy is valuable. Your data is valuable. And just don't throw that away for ease. Like spend a little bit more time on protecting yourself, because a lot of the bad actors and bad stuff, it's happening online. Getting your house robbed or getting, carjacked. Yeah, those things still do happen, but there's a lot more crime that's happening online. And it can be prevented if you take simple steps to, just strengthen your OPSEC a little bit.
Well, Wendy, really appreciate you coming on. Where can people find you on the webs?
Sorry, there's a doggy.
I know, there's dogs, there's lions.
So it's like the ADHD is like, oh my God.
Gosh, yeah. Robo dogs.
Oh no.
The conference.
Is that his butt?
I don't even know.
CryptoWendyO.com.
Awesome.
You guys can find me there. Those are all my socials. I have a lot of impersonators. Don't talk to them. And I highly recommend to start your OPSEC journey, you consider downloading Brave, start, earning some BAT, and really, take initiative. If you're going to be in crypto, if you want to make money, and once you do get wealthy, if you do not take privacy steps to protect your wealth, you could get wrecked with one simple click. So I know it's not fun, but got to do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Wendy. We'd love to have you back. Appreciate everything you're doing. And thanks again for your time.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening to the Brave Technologist podcast. To never miss an episode, make sure you hit follow in your podcast app. If you haven't already made the switch to the Brave browser, you can download it for free today at brave.com and start using Brave Search, which enables you to search the web privately. Brave also shields you from the ads, trackers, and other creepy stuff following you across the web.